On my right is Janet Gordon of Cedar City, Utah, a native of that part of the state, downwind from the Nevada test site. And by downwind we mean when they thought the wind was blowing towards Utah, that's when they set the bombs off, making sure that the wind was not blowing towards other areas such as California.
And it's a very hideous, horrible way to go. I get a lot of complaints from the scientists when I tell them that story. They think that we ought not to talk about the human element. But I would like to say to you, and I say to them every chance I get, that what they're doing to us there, that is the human element. The rest of it doesn't make a hill of beans. The human element is what it's all about. And when they start quoting me their statistics, why, I tell you the statistics are those of us who are living and dying with the fallout in southern Utah and other places where people are also being exposed to radiation. Her name is Dorothy Fox. She is from the small town of Central, just north of St. George, Utah. She lived for part of the testing years in Las Vegas, and she has come to relate to you her personal experience and the experience of her families and what it means to be a downwind victim. Dorothy?
In 1955, my son, Darrell Fox, was found to have leukemia. In 1956, he died of leukemia. I also have cancer. On my pathology report, it's listed as infiltrating ductal carcinoma. And it's my belief that my cancer also was the results of the radiation and the fallout. We lived from 1947 to 1956 in Las Vegas, Nevada, and then moved to northern Utah. And after our son died, we moved back to Las Vegas and spent several years there again. And in 1970, we moved into the small community of Vail, Utah, just outside of St. George, where there has been so many radiation victims. I've been asked many, many times what it's like to be a mother and lose a child with this disease. And those of you here tonight are in the path of a deadly footprint. The radiation fallout and the MX missile. And in my mind, they're one and the same. If one doesn't get you, the other will. And in charge of them are men that have ice cubes instead of a heart. I hope that those of you here might be able to take these things home and ponder them. Put yourself in the position of so many people in southern Utah that have experienced tragedies just as I told you mine were, that are living with a time bomb even inside of their bodies as I am. After my cancer operation, I developed hepatitis. After my hepatitis was doctored, I came down with diabetes. After my diabetes has been put under control, and I might say first that when I came down with diabetes, I went into a coma. And my blood sugar level was 782%, and 900 is death. Then after my diabetes, I came down with the palsy that I have in my hands. And honestly, people, I don't know what's going to come next, but I'm sure something will. I'm sitting on a time bomb. I have one inside of my body. And I don't know when it's going to go off. It may go off before I'm off this trip. It may go off 5 years from now. And as I told my colleagues, it may go off when I turn 100, which I hope I do. But when you deal with radiation, you aren't given a chance. When you sit down and talk to your doctor, he automatically scratches 10 years off of your normal life. That's automatic. And your cancer and your treatments for cancer are so dangerous that your treatments can take that much more off of your life too. And so you don't have any choice except to go under treatment or to let the cancer take your life. And sometimes when you go under treatment, you suffer just as much as if you'd lay there and let the cancers take your life. And I don't think that there's anything in this life that can be more heart-rending, that it can affect you personally all the rest of the days of your life, than to see a loved one, and especially your child, die of this horrible, horrible disease. I thank you this night for coming out and listening to us. And I hope that the things that we say here, that you will take them home and ponder them and become alert and be a part of your community. And I thank you.
A sunny day, winds blowing off the sea. Side huge wizards in a cold black rain, hurling spheres of fire. The clouds are stacking out towards the ocean, sad and great. There's a humming coming from the east, but it is hard to say. What's that?